Hi, this is Juliet, young Orfiano. Welcome to my video. If this is your first time on my channel, please like, share, and subscribe so I can notify you if I have a new video. This is the continuation of part 9 about intangible assets. I discussed in part 9 about goodwill. Just click above or the link below this video to watch part 9. In this video, I am going to discuss about the recognition of intangible assets and disclosure requirements. The recognition of intangible assets. An intangible asset shall be recognized on disposal or when no future economic benefits are expected from its use or disposal. The gain or loss arising from the recognition of an intangible asset shall be determined as the difference between the net disposal proceeds, if any, and the carrying amount of the asset. This amount is recognized in profit or loss in the period when the asset is derecognized. Disclosure requirements. An entity shall disclose the following for each class of intangible assets, distinguishing between internally generated intangible assets and other intangible assets. Letter A, whether the useful lives are indefinite or finite, and if finite, the useful lives or the amortization rates used. Letter B, the amortization methods used for intangible assets with finite useful lives. Letter C, the gross carrying amount and any accumulated amortization aggregated with accumulated impairment losses at the beginning and end of the period. Letter D, the line item or items of the income statement in which the amortization of intangible assets is included. Letter E, a reconciliation of the carrying amount at the beginning and end of the period showing, first, additions indicating separately those from internal development, those acquired separately, and those acquired through business combinations. Number 2, assets classified as held for sale or included in a disposal group classified as held for sale and other disposals. Number 3, increases or decreases during the period resulting from the revaluation and from impairment losses recognized or reversed directly in equity. An entity shall also disclose, letter A, for an intangible asset assessed as having an indefinite useful life, the carrying amount of that asset, and the reasons supporting the assessment of an indefinite useful life. In giving these reasons, the entity shall describe the factor or factors that played a significant role in determining that the asset has an indefinite useful life. Letter B, a description, the carrying amount and remaining amortization period of any individual intangible asset that is material to the entity's financial statements. Letter C, for intangible assets acquired by way of a government grant and initially recognized at fair value. Number 1, the fair value initially recognized for these assets. Number 2, their carrying amount. And number 3, whether they are measured after reduction under the cost model or the revaluation model. Letter D, the existence and carrying amounts of intangible assets whose title is restricted and the carrying amounts of intangible assets pledged as security for liabilities. Letter E, the amount of contractual commitments for the acquisition of intangible assets. If intangible assets are accounted for at revalued amounts, an entity shall disclose the following. A. By class of intangible assets. Number 1, the effective date of the revaluation. Number 2, the carrying amount of revalued intangible assets. And number 3, the carrying amount that would have been recognized had the revalued class of intangible assets have been measured after recognition using the cost model. Letter B, the amount of the revaluation surplus that relates to intangible assets at the beginning and end of the period, indicating the changes during the period and any restrictions on the distribution of the balance to shareholders. And letter C, the methods and significant assumptions applied in estimating the assets' fair values. An entity shall disclose the aggregate amount of research and development expenditures recognized as an expense during the period. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you learned something from this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on my channel so I can notify you when I have a new video. Once again, this is Juliet Yang Orfiano. See you on my next video.